Join TWR in 2023. TWR Monday Madness. Stay tuned at the end for new upcoming events. How's TWR doing thus far? Let's talk about SPY first. SPY trade on the day. We went ahead and entered that 415 call. We exited out at 240. That's $103 per contract. And don't forget about that time and date stamp at the bottom because you know we keep things 100% at TWR. Pepsi trade. We entered at 120, exited 232, left some runners. That gave us $112 per contract on the day. Our big boy trade is Tesla. We went ahead and entered this at 630, exit out at 1065, left a couple runners, but that's good for $435 per contract on the day. AI was a swing that we've been eating on for a minute. We had a high trim last week of 310. We exited today, full position at 298. That's good for $53 per contract on the day. Baba swing. We've been eating on this one again for a little bit too. We went ahead and cleared out full position at 222 today. Last week we trimmed out at 345. Not a bad trade at all. $57 per contract on the day. And finally, THS. Guys, this is proof that you don't need to have expensive trades to make money. We entered this one at 60. We exited today 153. That's a 2x baby, plus $93 per contract on the day. Assuming you made at least one trade per alert, near or at my entry and exit alert, your net profit and loss would equal $853 on the day. $100 to $1,000 per day is possible when you're a TWR market warrior. So quit wasting money. That's not making money. Join TWR. The links are in the description. What's hot and what's not. The market was on fire today. All three major indexes closed green on the day, and they recouped the losses that they incurred last week. Here's a map of the S&P 500. Only stock you really saw that was red, that was considered a big mover and shaker, was Google and Tesla. Other than that, green across the board for the most part. Here's all your major futures. We're definitely looking mixed, but the big ones that we're paying attention to, that Dow, that NASDAQ, and the S&P, they're red. Mainly probably because CPI comes out at 0830 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, so don't forget, big news on that front and can give the shift for the market. But we pay attention to futures because it gets us an idea for a battle plan when we go attack at the bell. Here's your individual sector heat map. Only red today was energy. Technology took the big win. Now remember, we got CPI tomorrow, okay? So if the CPI comes in hotter than expected, you are going to expect a bunch of selling, specifically coming from technology, consumer discretionary, and communication services. Here's your calls versus put flow, looking a little bearish coming into tomorrow. So we got a lot of sentiment that's low. That could change, on a dime, but we need to take note of that because the big money is taking into effect that we might get a hotter than expected report, and so they're positioned for the bearish. Now, if we get that bullish movement where we get a cooler CPI report, these bear calls right here will turn into more bullish calls, and that's why we follow the momentum, follow the big money, and just go with the flow. Here we are with the dark pools. Of course, you got SPY up there. You got the Q, the Apple, and we got a couple other tickers we haven't seen there for a while. We got LOD, TLH, HEF, and a few other ones. So we're paying attention to them. But the big ones that we want to pay attention to, Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, Q, and the SPY. Here's your top gainers, your top losers, your most active stocks, and your most volatile stocks. Here's some unusual volume tickers, stocks that are considered to be overbought, and stocks that are considered oversold. Here are some unusual options. What I like about this chart is it gives you the expiration, the strike, and the type call or put. This is a good opportunity for you guys to go research some of these fast-moving tickers and understand why they're unusual and see if there's a possible play that is evolving and you could get a dramatic push going one way or the other. and open interest change. Now, why am I giving some of these new charts? Well, I like this chart here because when you see a change in the open interest, it can give you a signal to either a bear move or a bull move. Basically, you're thinking like, hey, if people have high open interest rates, right, they think that the trade is going to continue to trend in the direction that they want to go. When they start to close it off, that means they got an indication or signal that is time to go ahead and close that trade and get ready to secure profits. So definitely could be a shift in momentum, and that's why we like it, because we're ready to attack the market when that bell rings, baby. And here are your top 15 trending tickers, and we're going to have some of these charts in the chart section in just a moment. And your top news reports, guys, no surprise here. Your top news headline, of course, is talking about the CPI that comes out tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Guys, listen to me when I say this. The report comes in cooler than expected. You could see the market jump, and we could go see 420 and even beyond. You see the CPI report come in hotter than expected, you're going to see the market take a dump. All right, so just be ready, head on a swivel, ammunition at the ready, and be prepared. When that bell rings, we're out there to attack, conquer, and destroy this market. Next top line, PLTR, man. They had killer earnings, right, and fantastic forward growth potential. Now their projected earnings over the next course are a little bit lighter than the Wall Street estimates had. However, they got some great things and a lot of interest in acquisitions and stuff like that. So expect PLTR probably is a good move to go long, and you can go out pretty far. I like leaps going into 2024 and 2025. $15 strike would be okay. You know, you want to come closer to in the money, at the money as much as possible. But shares also at this particular price might be good for accumulation at this point, because they did show profitability and they are showing interest in people trying to at least come at them with potential merger and acquisition news, which is always a good catalyst for companies. Next up on news, this wasn't top news, but noteworthy, right? So George Soros loads up on Tesla and other beaten down stocks. This is the time that you're going to start seeing big institutional money go in and start going deep on some of these favorite stocks. Super Bowl ads add up. You saw a bunch of great, cool EV ads, and that drove electric vehicle searches on Google and other platforms like that. AMC CEO says he's eyeing 2023 hike in movie releases and touts a potential path to eventual pandemic. AMC could squeeze at any time, so paying attention to that. You start to see the volume, and it might be time to start re-looking at going in long on AMC if we see it. And crypto company Paxos confirms SEC notice of potential changes. We're still paying attention to crypto. We still are bearish at this point on crypto. However, we're waiting to see if we start to get some bullish news and seeing what the SEC comes out and says they're going to do with regulations and stuff like that. Jam-packed with earnings. Here's the ones that are most anticipated. Guys, if we get that hotter than expected CPI, expect some of these tickers to just explode, okay? Because a lot of these have been just beaten up. If we get to cooler than expected, you can expect some downtrending, but the explosion to the downside will not be as big as the explosion to the upside unless the earnings are just terrible, okay? So, fantastic earnings, booming. Terrible earnings, dumping. Good CPI report. Some of these guys, regardless whether their earnings are great or so-so, they're going to take off as well. Stocks I like for trades. All right, so let's talk about SPY. Guys, SPY is going to depend completely on CPI. We get a cooler than expected report, SPY is going to just explode, okay? We get the hotter than expected, SPY is going to dump. So I got some trigger levels there, but basically this is really going to come down to what is happening with the moving averages, because we can be able to play this during the day trade going both ways. Following the moving averages, we see the trend move into one direction, we follow the trade. As soon as we start to see the reversal, go ahead, cut ties, switch to the other side, and we could scalp off of this all day long. But if we're looking for those swings, we want to go off of the triggers so that we got good confirmation of the direction of the trend. PLTR, I'm liking what I'm seeing with PLTR. I think it's a great opportunity to go long on this. I'm looking for leaps out in 2024 and 2025. So definitely look at those, and don't knock the idea of starting and nibbling into position trading by grabbing shares as well, okay? This is the time to go ahead and think about getting long position in this particular stock and dollar cost averaging on any dips. Coca-Cola, I'm liking them going into earnings, so I'm definitely bullish on this one. I think we get a nice jump, and we could definitely break out of this $60 range and go on to start making some tracks towards previous highs. CLF, I'm a little bearish on this one. I think that we may push, especially if CPI reports are strong. However, I think we went ahead and we moved and we're consolidating after the breakout, and we're looking like we want to come back and retest some of those lower levels. So I'm looking a bit bearish on this one. I think we got some more downside in the near future. ABNB, I think we lose some steam on this one, okay? It's definitely pushed, and when I see charts that look like this with a sharp V-shaped recovery, I think that it's too much too soon. We hit a peak, we rejected off of that, we came down, find some support, kind of bouncing around. I think off of the earnings, we'll probably go lower, and I'd expect this one to come back to the 110, 105 area after it's all said and done. Upstart looks pretty bearish to me, looking like we got more downside potential, has some lows of $12. Right now, we're about like 16s, something like that. I think we could see a $3 to $4 movement to the downside, so definitely looking more to the bear side on this particular ticker. And finally, Shop. I'm loving what I'm seeing with Shop. I think this is ready to just explode. And in fact, with that said, let's go ahead and do a free trade alert. When we come out a little bit further and we go into the weekly chart, we can see definitely this particular ticker is low and it's beat up, okay? I do see much more upside potential than I do see downside potential. I think if we get a fantastic earnings report, we could see a catalyst push cracking into past the 50s, going straight into the 60s. So I'm definitely looking to the long side in this one, and here's the idea of what I got in mind. And this is what I'm going to get into, guys. I'm looking at that Shop $55 call, March 17th. I want to get this around 175, 185, somewhere around there. If we do get a hotter than expected CPI, Shop will suffer, come down a little bit. We probably get a better entry, but I like the volume on this, easy to get in and out of it. The delta to theta ratio is very nice, so you got a lot of potential to make a decent amount of money per $1 movement of the underlying without losing a lot on your premium based off of some consolidation points. So I think it's a great risk versus reward type of trade, and I'll definitely be looking for this, especially if we get the bullish momentum that we're hoping we get in this ticker tomorrow. Upcoming TWR classes. And our next TWR class is set, so register today, guys. The link is in the description, or you can always go to traderswarroom.com/upcoming classes. On 19 February, our guest instructor, Diesel Trades, is going to teach you how to day trade by reading candles, volume, and momentum. And if you guys have not seen Diesel trade, he is a fast-paced, big money-making machine, guys. He is badass. And for $25 for a 2-hour class, you can get your seat reserved. And oh, by the way, every purchase gets the recording for a tool. Guys, we want you to plan your battle with TWR classes and make that market bend the knee, because TWR bows to no one. I'll see you in class on 19 February at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And don't forget, the link is in the description or traderswarroom.com/upcoming classes. Traders War Room is your one-stop shop. Try our TWR one-to-one mentoring. Does the market have you feeling like this, or wanting to rip your hair out while you watch your account dwindle? If that's you, then Traders War Room has you covered. Our one-to-ones focus on you as a trader or investor. The Zoom session connects you with a TWR professional. Whether we're covering charts, developing a plan of attack, or being strategic and deep diving on the how, why, and execution of trade plans, TWR one-to-ones will give you the confidence to attack, conquer, destroy, and make the market bend the knee in 2023. Join TWR and bow to no one. Book your session today. The link is in the description or on the website at traderswarroom.com. Let's go to war. Traders War Room Trading University is happy to announce open registration for our next option fundamental course. Did Wall Street make you feel like a complete loser in 2022? Or was everything going great and you blinked just for a split second and got repeatedly kicked in the you-know-what over and over again? TWR is here to help you. Our university's fundamental course is an in-depth 5-week-long course that's done live via Zoom platform. Our virtual classroom is where you can interact with the instructor, other students, or see copies of the classes right there on the platform and rivals that of traditional online education. Testimonials from previous class graduates are proof that our cradle-to-the-grave approach works in giving you consistently profitable skills to trade options. Registration is open today. Links are in the description or go to traderswarroom.com. I will see you there. Let's go to war. Join the TWR Investment Club. Check out our free chat to learn more. That's it, team. Don't forget, make the market bend the knee in 2023. Join TWR and bow to no one. The link is in the description or on the website at traderswarroom.com. Let's go to war.